Hi everybody and happy day after America Day. I'm going to be doing some character designs actually starting from the live references that we used using the chickens. We did some animal drawing a few weeks ago and now we're going to be doing some character designs. Sorry the follow-up video is a little bit late, but I just wanted to make sure that I didn't forget to include that so you guys can see how we use the transitions between drawing the live animal and then going ahead and doing some new character designs based on the knowledge that we gained from doing the live drawings. So I'm going to go right now into Photoshop, and I hope that you guys draw along or watch along and see how we make characters. So this is going to be pretty fun. So right now I'm going to open up my Photoshop window, and right now I just have this blank slate, but right now really quickly I'm going to go ahead and open up what we did last time, and that was, if I can find it, it's not that one. It should be coming up in just a second. Let me find it. I should have, probably would have been a good idea to. I just thought of it this time now. It'll probably be good to show you guys what we did last time so you guys were just going for nothing. Okay, so here too we have it, and these are this was from the original video, and I'll have to post the link to it so you guys can check that out if you're interested in seeing the life drawings from chickens that we did. So first we have a couple of different sketches. They're just a couple minute sketches. They're not any long or elaborate sketches, but this is just like to give you I guess warmed up for drawing the actual characters. If you kind of come in with like no prior knowledge to the animal, if you've never drawn it before, or it's something that's really new to you, it's going to be a lot harder to create character designs. So that's why we did this one first. And if you haven't yet, or for any character that you want to draw, even if it's a fictional character, find an animal in life that looks the closest to it, and then you'll be able to go ahead and reference those and get some practice in before you actually go into characters. A lot of people think that just because characters are cartoony or whatever, they don't need to practice it, but that's completely not true. You actually need a lot of practice, and the more practice you do, actually you'll be better at doing character design. So and you'll find it a lot easier to manipulate their features and things about them that are different, and you'll notice things that someone who's coming in and doesn't have any experience with drawing that animal will have. And so you'll actually be a lot far ahead of the game if you practice drawing the animal from life and then doing the characters. So right now I'm going to pop into an app that I have. It's a character designing app. It's really not something, it's not like you have to get a special app or something to draw characters just randomly. Obviously, if you're creating a story or something, you won't need it. But if you just want to create just some practice characters and you just want to get some ideas, what you can go through, and actually let me show you, this is another thing that I have, which I can actually probably use something like this as well. And let me just go back into my live view really quickly. So another thing that you can do, I got this off of Google. It's really, you could probably just Google it too. It's called character traits. And I keep this right next to my desk, and it's just different types of, hopefully you guys can see it, but it has different types of personality traits. And what does it have? Positive and negative traits. What else do we have? Hopefully, is it backwards? It looks like it's backwards on the screen. Sorry, but you get the idea. And what else does it have? Does a lot. Active, adventurous, does very little, dull, and you get the idea. It has it just gives you like an idea of how to like plan out doing character design, and those are the types of things that you want to think of. Another way that I always look for it is like, if you just look up, another thing you can Google is just professions. So if you wanted to do like an angry doctor or a happy nurse or happy bartender or a really sleepy electrician or something like that. And those are just random ideas, and that's pretty much the exact same thing that this app does. It just generates it for you, but it's something that you can do totally on your own. Another great idea that I had also was to just take the different traits and take the professions and put them like in two separate jars and like scramble them together. You can just write them on a little paper and put them in a jar and just pick one randomly. And then you can just sketch character designs that way. It's really a neat way to just brainstorm ideas is really the whole purpose. So right now I'm going to go back into my Photoshop, and right now I'm just going to randomize okay, so this is a goth person eating. Okay, so a goth chicken, and that's like, okay, I would have never probably thought of that on my own, but you know, that's like the fun thing about having something like this too. It's like, okay, so what does heaving look like? I think it's like a coughing motion. So I'm gonna go and Google what does heaving look like, and so that's what I will do. I'll say, ooh, okay. So I Google and I look in heaving. Okay, that's what it looks like, and I'm gonna switch it over so you guys, I'm not just looking at it by myself. I want you to see what I'm seeing. So I'm gonna go back in, and I'm just going to the description real quick. It's been a little while since we did a character design video, so I just want to show you exactly what it is that I'm seeing, so you don't have any kind of confusion or anything like that. So when I looked up heaving on Google, this is what came up. I mean, I think this is probably a really clear example of somebody heaving, but it's sort of like a coughing thing, or like exhaustion versus coughing is what probably a heaving is. Yeah, it's not really pretty. The dog here is heaving pretty nicely, actually. So that's a pretty good example of what a heaving will look like. So now I'm going to go back into Photoshop, and I'm not going to put any like too much pressure like to make it perfect right away. That's okay. We're just going to have fun with it, and we're just going to see what happens. And that's kind of how it goes with doing random character designs like this. So maybe if I have a chicken, I can see for myself what a chicken looks like. Oh, these are actually figure drawings that I did. I thought I still had my chicken one open. So I did some figure drawing a little bit earlier to warm up. Let me see. Still have. How did I close that? That didn't make sense. Oh well. I think I saved it under. Under one of these. Okay. And so I'm gonna look at my chickens as reference, keeping them as my little reference. Okay, and so this chicken is heaving, and it's a gothic chicken. Okay, I don't know what a gothic chicken looks like, but I can use my imagination. And also I can look up references. So what does a gothic person look like? I'm going to Google, and let's see, goth. I invite you guys to come back with me. This is I want you guys to see everything. It's not fun if you guys can't see as well. And you'll see where I'm going with this. And do you have to do this every time that you do character designs? You don't have to. I would say if you're just doodling in a sketchbook, which if you don't have a sketchbook, I think you should keep one just all the time. But if you're doing character designs, pretty much you want to do this every time. I mean, even if you're doodling and you have opportunity to say, oh, let me look on my phone like real quick and see what this looks like to get a better picture, that's going to help you out so much. I mean, obviously, just drawing out of your head is helpful sometimes, but drawing from reference constantly is going to be your best, strongest. I'm telling you, it's everything. Draw from life all the time, even if you're caricaturizing and you're making dramatic things that not necessarily on that person. Like, let's go into Google and let me show you an example of what I'm talking about, because drawing from reference is going to be your best bet. I mean, even in the studios when they're drawing for different, and I've talked, and the only reason why I know this, I obviously don't work at a animation studio right now, but I've talked to several people who do, and they show me exactly, they keep Google open constantly at work, and it's okay. They work from a computer and they keep Google open constantly because they're always looking for references, they're always looking for resources. And even as a professional, when you're working for an industry or if you're working by yourself, you're gonna still want to use Google and referencing constantly. And obviously you're not gonna always see any random thing in person if you just walk outside. But the thing is, Google is here. God created Google. So now we have it. And so these are like great resources. And obviously there's other sites like Pinterest and stuff like that. But you can just go ahead and look for resources online. And then you start to draw. So let's go ahead and start to draw. I mean, we've been talking for a while now without drawing. But now we can actually start our drawing process. So sorry that took a little bit of time. I just wanted to be a little bit clear. I have some new subscribers, so thank you guys and welcome to my channel, Alicia Dianne Art. And I just wanted to add in some stuff so you guys know exactly how to get to your resources, exactly how I think you get the most out of these videos. So without any further ado, let's start. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'll look at some resources. Heaving, so automatically you think like kind of struggling a little bit, like your eyes be a little bit crazy, your mouth might be a little bit crazy, your heaving. I don't know if chickens have teeth, but I kind of feel like maybe this chicken should have teeth. And maybe you have like a nose ring because they are gods, by the way. The chicken, gothic chicken is heaving. So dramatic eyeliner. So maybe I want to like be creative and use that sort of a little flop that they have over their head. Maybe I want to use that as like a mohawk. And even though mohawk might be a little bit more punk rock, you can still probably pull it off. I mean, this is like, we want to just be really. And you know, one thing I noticed that I've seen, and this is where it comes into play too, to watch cartoons. I mean, even like I'm not a super big cartoon watcher as far as like what like sitting down and watching Cartoon Network or like a channel like that, which I probably should watch more of. I watch it sometimes, but not as much as I should as an artist. But I do love watching animated movies, and I love I have my favorites that I watch constantly. Like obviously right now I'm watching Mulan. I have my Moana poster in the back. So I have my favorites that I go to. But I would definitely recommend, if you have not seen them yet, especially if you haven't seen them yet, and even if you have, to rewatch them. And I don't want to get lost in my train of thought here. It's a little bit smaller. I have more room to play with the body. E5. Change the scale on this a little bit. Go ahead and watch some of the old cartoons. Like I'm reading right now a book. It's called The Illusion of Life, and it's by Frank Thomas and Ollie Johnson. And this is a book that I've had I've kept it for years as like a coffee table book, just there just for the look on my desk or whatever. But I'm actually like reading it now, and so like even something like that, it shows so much of like the type of motion that they uses in the action that they use, the type of acting style that they use in the old days. And I think those are really like the best references to watch, like the old silly symphonies and the Looney Tunes, old Looney Tunes cartoons. Those are great. They have great action. And even if you are not an animator, even if you're just trying to design characters, like just seeing that kind of stuff will help you out so much. I mean, and even as a character designer, I mean, that is your job really, to come up with what Bugs Bunny looks like when somebody steps on his toe with like a spike heel. Like, what does that look like? As a character designer, that would be your job, to come up with those types of poses. And so that's why it's great to look at the old, especially like the old slapstick animations from the 30s and 40s. But I mean, of course, watch animation if you have a chance to. If you have kids, most of you guys probably don't have kids right now. I do. I have a son, and he watches, cartoons. And every now and then, I'll just, say, hey, you know, I mean, I can't watch it for hours like he can, but I can watch it for like 30 minutes a day or something, and just watch and see what they're doing. See how the cartoons react, and there is a difference between the animations now and animations from the old days, but I mean, you can still see some of the similarities that they're using just visual comedy. And, stand up comedians will do the same thing. They'll use visual comedy just to get a laugh, like something that just looks bizarre and funny. And you can use that. You can, take hints from that. So my chicken, I don't know if my chicken really looks like a chicken, but I think he kind of is. He's a little funny looking chicken. I'm trying to like think of how I can make him look like a little bit gothic. Maybe I want to give him like a spiky belt with like some chains or something on it. He's got like a funny figure. Make it a little bit comical. Maybe he's got some really. I should have given him just boots, but since he doesn't have boots, he has his feet open. We'll just give him like some leg gear, like some strappy hot topic leg gear, like with the buckles and stuff. I'm not hitting on hot topic. I shop here. I don't shop hardly anywhere anymore, but I do. Whenever I do happen upon a mall, I do like thrift stores and buy little things. When you get older and you have kids and stuff, you don't shop like you used to. All my shopping money goes for groceries at this point in life. Maybe one day I'll be able to get cool stuff again. But this is kind of like where I'm going with it, and I feel like he's like, just because there's so much red, I need to do a little bit of clearing up with a darker color on top. But I think we kind of get the point of what I'm going with. So I'm gonna go ahead right over him, and just gonna clear him up a little bit. So that was kind of a crazy sort of character description. I'm gonna go right over it. I might be using a separate layer because I feel like I wanna let this design just be really loose and open. This is his teeth. I want to make sure I really separate his teeth from the rest of his teeth. So I got his gum area. And he's kind of like, he's hacking so hard that his eye is a little bit twisted on this side. And he's got a bit of a mohawk happening here. But I still want to keep it a little bit feathery. I don't want to make it so mohawky that it doesn't look like a chicken. I'm still keeping in mind that I'm doing a chicken. Like along this whole process, I still want to keep in mind that this guy is a chicken. a gaggy kind of a neck. Oh, and I gotta keep in mind that he's heaving, he's struggling, so I want to do a little bit of a craziness with his back feathers. And that's what I'm trying to do here with this line, is really clear up the distinction between the part that's laying over and the part that's his back. So this is his waistline here, where he's kind of just coming out. Spikes on his belt. Sometimes I feel like it's helpful to just get a little bit more in detail with the characters rather than to just do a whole bunch of really quick characters. In this case, I feel like it's more helpful if I actually show you the whole process. And even though this is just a first sketch, which you might, if you're creating, if you really had to do this for a job project or something like that, you might want to draw a whole bunch of these before you doing sort of a cleanup like I'm doing now. But even I noticed for me personally, to be honest with you, a lot of times even if I end up doing a whole bunch of them, a lot of times I'll end up liking the first one the best. I don't know why. It just happens, just kind of happen, or like at least in the first few. I mean, it doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes it takes a few, and I'm like, oh, that last one was really the best one. And so that's the thing. You never really know. Sometimes you can do a whole bunch of sketches and end up, get nailing it like on the first try. And sometimes, you'll end up doing a bunch of them, and then it will take a while before that real character really comes out. But it's a good practice, and I want to teach you guys. If I'm going to teach you anything, I'd like to teach you the right way. So if you are doing this, if you are doing this sort of a thing for a project or a final thing, I would recommend highly that you do a bunch of these before you do any sort of a cleanup or feel like you're done, so to speak. Because it does take a while to get. All the feathers that are covering him up right here, I'm just going to leave them as they are and draw the part of the leg thing, his little pants or whatever around it. I'm going to say like leg warmers, but I don't know if it's really leg warmers. It looks actually like he's like rocking out or something, but I mean, I guess that could be a part of. We were doing the concert and you were screaming that he was like a screamo guy. You'd probably be heaving by the end of the night. You were screaming the whole time. I mean, I've never been a musician, but I would assume using your voice in a demanding way. So he's kind of like, he's heaving. He's heaving. And if I was to do this in full color, I would make him like more red in the face. Just to add to the dramaticness of the pose. And so even though he's a chicken, and obviously chickens don't have hands, when you're doing characters, that kind of stuff is a little bit out of the window because you want it to be relatable, you want it to be believable, and so you'll add in and improvise those sorts of things. And so there is our chicken. He's kind of cool looking, actually. This one has nothing to say. I didn't do it on a separate layer. I should have, but just want you to get it up. Unfortunately, it's like without as much. This is why you should work on separate layers, guys, so you don't erase your clean line when you're trying to take out a little bit of that initial drawing. Okay, so there's our first guy, and he is, oh yeah, his chain belt. Okay, so there's our first character. And since we did the cleanup and everything of him, I'm just gonna do probably just a little bit more of a looser sketch with the others, or at least an initial sketch. I'll probably do like 2 more of these and see how it goes. Let's just go ahead. A composer chopping wood. Okay, so let's go in and see what a composer looks like. I would think like a musician, right? Why would a composer be chopping wood? You ask? I have no idea. But that is sort of the fun and the ridiculousness of creating characters. I feel like I did a composer before. I feel like that just feels really familiar for some reason. And I'm gonna go ahead and grab a pen there. Okay, and I'm just going to pull this in. And he's a composing chicken. So I just think of automatically when I think of a composer, it's just like this really composed sort of a person. But I would think he'd be very elegant and particular, very calm, a very calm chicken. With very elegant type hair. Actually, I think I'm going to give him a little bit more of a different mouth. Maybe he's not really smiling. I don't think composers smile very much. And maybe that is just me, but I don't picture a composer smiling very much. Just very composed, like, and unimpressed. Let's see what. I'm just going to. I just feel like you should be doing it very elegant. Very, very. Even though he's a chicken, he should be an elegant, composed chicken. This is actually really challenging. So I just tried to like, what would an elegant chicken look like? While still looking like a chicken. Hmm. I kind of want to start all over again. Let's see. And even I, you all, even I have to start all over again. I think at this point, I think for this one, I think his body is so important. I'm gonna really start with that. The pointed toe. I really like it better, even if I didn't do his face yet. Even though I didn't do his face yet, I still like this one better because I feel just feel better about it already. Chicken beak. He should have some glasses or something. His hair a little bit fluffed back. And what is he? Maybe he's like performing this chopping of wood. And maybe he's not even using a axe or something. Maybe he's using just like a what would a composer use to chop wood? A chopstick? Yes, maybe he is chopping the wood with a chopstick because he is a composer after all, and he is composed. I have to think in character. You see how I'm like changing my voice and stuff like that? I'm trying to think as this character would think. That will help me to draw him better. And it sounds ridiculous and silly, but you kind of have to be. If you're gonna like be creating characters and you think it's silly, it is. Because even when I'm drawing, I'll catch myself. I'll catch myself making faces. I'll catch myself um, talking in that character's voice, so to speak. I'll catch myself doing all these weird things, not because I'm trying to just, be silly or make a joke, because I'm there, by myself. I'll be drawing alone. But I'll think and I'll talk and I'll speak like this character, and it will help me to get a better sense of them. It will help me to sort of get their expression down, and really, it will bring out the ultimate goal is to bring out the personality in these guys. I mean, as a dead character is just dead. And it is. A dead character is just dead. Maybe I'll actually give him a body just for some comic relief. It's really ridiculous, but it's funny. To me, it's funny. And he's like chopping this chop block with chopsticks, you know? And me, if that works, then that works. And maybe actually we'll go over this guy with go over him. And I'll be smart and I'll actually use a separate layer this time. Um, but I think it's really important to kind of really get into that character as much as you can, as much as you can be around the type of people that you think your character would be like. Try and immerse yourself into the character's world, so to speak, even if it's just by changing your voice. If that helps you to sort of think like the type of person you are trying to create, then by all means, have at it. And I feel like I read. Oh my god, these glasses are like in the wrong spot. I'll make them just overly big. So they're not. No, that makes it look like nerdy. I'm not going for nerdy. I'm going for intellectual. Maybe I'll just put them further down on this because I want to make sure that it's like creating a clear picture that people can read. That's also important when I'm creating a character. And I have them in this sort of way. And right now I'm just gonna thank you. Thank you for the love. So he has this nice big bow tie. He's a composer. And he's still sort of semi-nude because I'm still making him as a chicken. He's not fully humanoid. He's partially humanoid. But he still has this very chicken body. Give him a sense of what I want to do with his wings, like I don't know, something just believable. Maybe I should. Let's see. I don't want to cover up his face. That's what I'm worried about. So maybe I'll go back onto the previous layer, the rough layer, and I will go ahead and change this arm so it won't be covering his face so much. That would give me some freedom. Oh, but it's covering his butt. Hmm. Problem solving 101. Arm is coming from here. I want to give him a nice compulsory chop, blocking his face. Out covering his face. That is the question. Okay. I think it can be done. Okay, let's give it a shot and see what happens. This one, this one. But that's okay, as long as we know where it is. And let's go back to the clear layer and begin filling in the details, of course. And some of the clean line I will need to just erase, just for the fact that the wing is coming over it, but that's okay. As long as it's not the key thing, which for me is going to be his face. What did I do with his hand? Right. That finger comes like this. Oh, he doesn't have. Why was I separating his face? He doesn't have. Maybe it should be on pants. Why not? I don't know why he would be wearing pants, but why wouldn't he be wearing pants? Even though he's a chicken. Yes. Maybe it would be nice for a conductor to wear pants. He's got this chicken butt. Some of you guys' favorite part to eat probably. Why you eat chicken butts? They have sell them at KFC. And chicken nuggets. What do you think chicken nuggets are made of? He's got sort of this fabulous sort of a thing about him. Okay. And maybe he has like into tuxedo pants. Yeah. A little bit of the pants crease there. And this is the wood, of course, that he's inevitably chopping. Just gonna throw that in there. You guys know. And for whatever reason, I've seen them chop wood before. I've been to the country. They put the big wood block that they're chopping, they put the firewood on another piece of wood to chop it. I guess it gives it stability or firmness or whatever. I've never actually really chopped wood before, but I've seen it. I mean, I'm a city girl myself, but I know what's the whole process like. And there you go, a conductor chopping wood with chopsticks. And he is going to conduct the bejesus out of this piece of wood. And I'm going to go down to the second layer and just take that little piece of deal. I'm drawing a little bit better. And there he is. And we're going to do, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. I'm going to do one more. A groom sledding. That sounds like fun. I like this one. A groom. I'm looking into my Google and look at images of a groom. You guys all know what a groom looks like. It's like a happy guy about to get married or a terrified guy, however you want to see. And let me just go ahead and pop that in for you guys really quick so you guys can see what I'm looking at in my window. And ooh, I'm just really close. Then I go into my Google and fix my ponytail. Sorry, still a girl. And I'm gonna share. And this is sledding. And these are obviously kids sledding, mostly kids. And that looks happy. Yeah, this is what that sledding looks like. So the challenge is going to be to make a chicken sled. I don't know why a chicken would sled, but hey, that is what we're doing here. And we're using, this is the images of, or these are the images of a groom. And so let me see. I see confidence. That's the first thing I see. I see shoulders back. I see smile. They all look very confident. I think it's like they found that person. Well, this guy does not look confident. I don't know. He's That's a dead giveaway that your groom is not ready to get married, ladies or gentlemen or whatever. I'm not judging, but I'm just saying, if your groom looks like this, he's not ready to be groomed. I don't think so. Grooms are happy. Groom is confident. He's like at least when the bride gets there. I think they might be a little nervous before she gets there. They don't want to have a runaway bride. I know my husband told me that he was very nervous before I got there because I was late and he wasn't. But that's another story. Yeah, this is not how a groom should look. People, groom is supposed to either that is obviously not a groom. Come on, grooms usually in real life are, even though that's probably not a real groom. No, where is a confident groom? There we go. That's a real groom. That's what a groom should look like. Tall, confident, got that glimmering plastic look in his eye, and he is ready. He's ready to take the town. That is what a groom should look like. Okay. All right. Yeah. That, that jokes. I think they're hilarious. So that makes them good. And let's go back into Photoshop so we can draw our happy groom chicken sledding. Or you can make a sad groom sledding if you want to. I'm gonna probably make a happy groom sledding. I'm gonna make him super cheesy confident. I just think that's really funny. I saw a lot of like, the confident look, and I want to use that. And so I'm gonna use that really, really confident sort of a groom. That's what I'm gonna go for with my groom chicken. And you can make your groom chicken however you like your groom chicken to be. And so I'm going to make him. I'm going to give him a square head. And maybe he's like checking out the camera. Oops, give him a cross-eyed. I don't want to give him a cross-eyed. Maybe he's just like a macho chicken. It's like a chicken plus. And he's got the little gobbler. He needs to have like a nice strong jawline, I think. I'm gonna make him a manly chicken. Maybe he's smiling too big. I just want to give her a nice little smile. Nice little smile. There we go. And of course, every groom needs to have this nice little tux. But let me first get. You have to get the body right before you get the suit. It doesn't matter what you're wearing. You have to get in the body right. And what does this sledding look like? Okay, that's just shouldn't be in the front. They look like they go out to the side on the sled. So this is going to be like the silliest picture of all time, but that's okay. So he's holding on strongly yet confidently to the side of his sled. And gosh, what do I do with his legs? Maybe I will. And you can do this with anything, you guys. You guys can use any sort of a reference. It doesn't have to be a chicken or groom, obviously. But I definitely recommend drawing the animal multiple times, especially if it's an animal that you're not comfortable with or that you have not a lot of experience yet drawing. Make his legs a little bit shorter. I'm just going to do that by lassoing them. I'm taking them in a little bit. You're going to get a little bit of everybody. There we go. And I'm going to put him on the sled. Maybe he's going to bother me or whatever. He's on his vacation. Down this icy slope. Mountains and such behind him. Maybe there's a tree covered in snow or something like that behind him. And adding elements, only adds to whatever story that you're telling. So even if, you're just doing characters, but you want to challenge yourself a little bit, add some backgrounds and see where they go. Or not. You don't have to make them all boring and plain or whatever. You can play around with them. Especially if you're doing it for like animations. Your goal is to be toward animation. Give even your trees, even your sled, even the littlest details. Think about shapes and give them a little bit of personality, even like this mountain here. Organic shape. You want to think in shapes as far as, I don't want to make a tangent here. Like if I was to just end it right there, that would be a pretty bad tangent. I don't want to do that. What I want to do is give a little bit of space between where that mountain is in the background, that little snowy mountain, this cliff meets, and where his chest is coming out at. And so right now he just looks like this buff sort of a guy on a sled. And so to change him and make him into a groom, I'm going to give him the proper attire. Suit. The word suit or the word is bow tie or the word some words bow tie, some word tie. I'll give him a tie, I think. With how are you gonna know that he's a groom? Maybe he's got the how do you know? Well, one way you know is he's supposed to have a wedding ring if he's a good groom. So maybe he's got a little bit of a bling wedding ring. Or maybe even to make it a little bit of a gag, his wife. How do you know a groom from the wife? Maybe the wife is right here, running after him. Maybe she's got a big dress. No. Now that's kind of funny. And then there's still a couple of snow flurries in the sky. All this stuff. And what I do, what I would do, I should say, sorry about that, to distinguish the foreground from the background here, if I was to do full color, I would make the further back, I would make these lighter. So I would use a lighter color and make them a little bit more blue. So I would fade them out with a nice blue and make them a little bit more blurry, as as in not putting as much detail. Like I wouldn't paint all the different colors of the leaves, and I would make it not as distinguishable with the details as I would with a closer up tree. And then I would go ahead and fade it out, make the colors a little bit more faded to give it that sense of distance and depth. And I think that we are pretty good. I'm going to add a little bit of, hmm, this guy is so sweet. Fine a little bit. Something should be fine since he's moving. I'm going to make her go backwards since he's actually, on the sled. You got to think about the things, this jiggly bits that move, such as hair, would be not be just standing still if he's, sliding or doing an action. So you have to think about the parts that move when you're doing an action, not just as for it as an animator, but also as a character designer. You have to take these things into consideration, the parts that move, and now it would make you. And you see, you don't have to remember it right away. It's okay if you forgot to do it initially. I wasn't even thinking about that when I first drew him down. I was just trying to create a character. But now that I'm going back and I'm adding details, I'll start to incorporate those types of things. Nice dress pants. Don't make him fancy. I like his chicken legs. He has cute chicken legs. Maybe. I like his chicken legs, but pants or no pants? I'm just gonna let it go. No. Oh, but it could be kind of interesting. He's getting married, he doesn't have pants, and he's running away from his bride. That's probably 3 strikes. Find another rooster. I'm being silly, but Okay, so now we can go ahead and go and think about what we're gonna do to clean this guy up. Clean up his act. He's a wild chicken. Maybe he's one of those spicy chicken sandwiches. I don't know. Let me bring my sizes down just a little bit. This is the part where I start to sing. Alright, actually, this is the only part of drawing where I use my mind. I'm just kidding. But obviously this part takes a little bit more concentration because I am going for a look that I wasn't as much focused on with the rough because it's rough, and I already knew in the back of my mind that I can make the changes and do whatever I need to do. Obviously I can still make changes to the line drawing and the clean drawing, but I want to be a little bit more careful with making a drawing that looks clean. And this is where the personality really comes out because people are going to see, obviously, the final drawing. And you want it to have that personality and clarity, especially. I mean, it's important to get that already. You want to see it already in your rough drawing, but in your clean drawing, you really want to bring it out that much more. You don't want to lose that essence, but it definitely needs to be in your initial. And I can't believe I'm actually cleaning up all of these drawings. Usually I don't clean up the characters I do for the animal character video, but I figured this time just I would just go with it. More of it took me would be where we would go, and I just feel like right now feels right. I'm just gonna go over, not adding too much detail. I'm actually taking a lot of things away. But I still want to keep the initial idea. And I actually saw a real guy that looked kind of like this not too long ago. That's where you're going to get all your inspiration from. The people that you just see randomly in the street, on an elevator, in a hotel in San Francisco, like where I saw this guy. It looks kind of like this. Or you never know, just me randomly in the park, on TV. Just pay attention to people. Well, pretty interesting. You notice a lot of things about them. Not creepy, like staring or anything, but just noticing as they're going by. That's all. An artist is kind of our job to pay attention to stuff like that. Even when we don't even realize we're doing it, we just pay attention. You'll start to do that if you just practice doing that a little bit. You'll start to just notice people and see it come into your drawings. But once you're aware of it, it's just good to know and keep in the back of your mind that, okay, yeah, I can watch people to see what their personalities are like. Not judging them or anything, just observing. Helps your artwork immensely. How much? Fine. So people will actually notice the rain because it is a part of the story. And that's whenever an artist does something to bring your eye towards something, it is for a reason. It's trying to, it's important to the story. So be careful what you try and bring people's eye to because it should be part of the story. Big chicken butt. Suit that he has on. And he is confident, yet he is confidently running away from his bride. Any place where you can fit in a little bit of humor, it's gonna just add appeal. And that is the biggest thing that any artist needs. The other stuff that they tell you need more than anything is that appeal, and appeal comes from relatability. Relating to reality and laughing at it. That is chicken bride. Poor lady, chicken. Obviously, I brought my pen tool down way a lot to draw this little tiny detail of this chicken bride. I like to draw people running away from things, I think. I noticed I did this in my last character design video too, about hyenas. Or about, no, it was about the parrots. The gray parrot, I did the running away fortune teller from the unhappy client who was a basketball player. You'll have to see the video. Sorry, I know it doesn't make any sense. But a chicken groom running away from his bride in the slopes of the Alpine doesn't make much sense. So ridiculous. Tangent, I don't want to make any tangents. Make clear, distinguishable foreground from backgrounds. It is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Well, maybe not easy, but you get it. It's not incredibly difficult. You just spend a little bit of time, a little bit of energy and effort, and you'll see yourself improving in your character design, and it will be a blast for you. Like, the better you get at it, it will be so much more fun. And you'll just see like the little tricks that you can begin to do. No. I'm not great at effects drawing, but you get the point. You get that. You have a little bit of path that we just came down. Somewhere. I think down here. And just kept on going. You look back at his angry wife, which you will soon learn that every wife. And I'm going to take the opacity down a little bit on the initial drawing. And there we have it, guys. There is creating animal characters. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this as much as I did, and even more if possible. So I'm kidding. I love doing this. And I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. And I'm going to switch it back to me if I can. Let's see. Okay, here we go. I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys had an awesome 4th of July and happy summertime to everyone around the world. And I just want to say, keep on dreaming, dream big, be grateful for what you have now because it will bring more into your life. Live balance, have fun, and practice and work hard and just spend time with your family. And also, most importantly, be yourself. Because everyone else is taken, as they all say, but it's true, everyone else is taken, and you are the only you can be. So I just want to remind you of that. And I just want to say, see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.